Several school boards in Ontario are cancelling final exams for some high school students this year. Among them, the country's largest school board in Toronto. Laura McQuillan is tracking that story as well. Laura, this is all about giving teachers some flexibility when they're assessing their students.
That's exactly right. And the message from Ontario's Ministry of Education has been that school boards can choose whether they would like to go ahead with exams or whether they'd like to use those dedicated exam days to have more in-class learning. Of course, in-class can also mean online these days. That's exactly what Toronto District School Board has opted for, cancelling some of its exams. It is slightly more complicated than what we used to because instead of semesters, they now have quadmesters, so 4 separate chunks throughout the year. The first 2 exams were meant to be in November and February. Those are now cancelled. April and June TBA. Not sure if exams will go ahead then, but they say that's because of the complexities of running exams in both in-person and online in a pandemic. Other school boards doing things similarly or differently. You look at Toronto Catholic District School Board and they say that they're going to let their schools choose. Do they want to do an exam? Do they want to do some kind of other performance task or assessment? While just down the road in Peel region, the 2 school boards there are both cancelling exams as well. So some students will be rejoicing at that news, even though they will have to do some other kind of assessment to make up that 30% of their overall grade. But we spoke to one student who has really mixed feelings about this news, and here's what
There's like a flood of messages to the class chats, like celebrating, yay, we don't have an exam this year. After it sort of settled in, I got a little disappointed because I realized, like, even though it's like no one looks forward to exams, I know personally that during that exam period, the days leading up to the exams, that's when I learned the most about the course.
So no exams for him, but with those different kinds of assessments, Heather, they will be pretty modern sorts of forms of assessments. We're talking about things like potentially blogs, presentations, which might be done over Zoom, could be an essay, could be a report. But education advocates are saying this is a real opportunity to rethink the way that students get their grades and the way that they're marked for how they perform in school.
So many families at this time, Laura, still considering, even though here we are mid-October, still considering whether they want their children to be in class learning there or whether it's better and safer to switch to online. And there are some important decision deadlines coming up. Remind us of those.
Yeah, if you were hoping to make the switch, if you're in the Peel Region School Board, you have until noon today to make that decision. That would be November 18th as the day of the switch. So you need to contact your school by noon today to either switch to in-person or switch to online, whichever one you're not currently doing. Toronto District School Board, however, has put tomorrow's deadline for secondary students to switch on hold. They say that they're rethinking the way that they're going to deliver online or in-person learning going ahead. But a couple of other deadlines in other parts of the province later this week or early next week. So do check in with your local school board about those deadlines if you are considering whether online or in-person is the best option for you or for your child. A lot to think about in the coming days, so get it done before the deadline.
Laura, thank you very much. Laura McQuillan.